You are listening to the Supermoms Getting Tired podcast. I'm your host, Tori Henderson, and this is episode 169. All links and show notes can be found by going to lifecoachingforparents.com/169. Welcome to the Supermom is Getting Tired podcast. This show is designed for moms who invest everything into parenting, but get overwhelmed, lost, and resentful. Listen and learn how to unburden yourself. Feel calm, full of energy, and in control. I'm your host, Master Certified Life Coach, teacher, and recovering supermom, Tori Henderson. Hello, supermoms. I hope you're enjoying some beautiful spring weather and getting ready for some exciting events. Usually this time of year, there's a lot of graduations and banquets and end of the year parties and field trips and you name it. It's an exciting time. It's also a busy time. So take care of yourselves. Don't forget to breathe. I have a special treat for you today. We are going to be talking about letting go. So if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, you can go to lifecoachingforparents.com/stay sane, sign up. Don't forget the hyphens between each of those words. Stay sane, sign up. And get in the newsletter, join the Supermoms Getting Tired Facebook group if you're not already there, because we're going to be talking about letting go. Now, when you talk to moms about letting go, they usually start crying. They're like, no, I don't want to let go. I feel like I'm letting go already. My kid's graduating 6th grade or 8th grade or kindergarten or pre-K or high school or whatever, right? College even. They're moving out. They're moving on. They're getting their driver's licenses. I'm already letting go, Tori. I don't want to let go anymore. Here's how you know if it's time to let go. If you are suffering or struggling in any way, chances are it's time to let go of something. I am not here to tell you what it's time to let go of, but your higher self knows the answer. And it might be time to let go of a belief. It might be time to let go of an idea you had that it's my responsibility to always make my kids happy, or that video games are evil and should never be played. Or maybe it's time to let go of control of something that you used to have control of. It will bring you peace. It will bring you harmony. It will bring you happiness. Maybe it's time to let go of an expectation or a house, a marriage, a friendship, the thought that your daughter's best friend will always be her best friend. I'll tell you, I had a really hard time letting go of my daughter's friends that she grew up and moved on, and I did not. I'd known these girls since they were in kindergarten. I felt like they were my friends, and I don't think they thought of me that way, but there's always something to let go of. Maybe it's letting go of old toys, or the thought that you're not going to have another kid and it's time to get rid of the baby clothes. Maybe it's time to let go of, knowing where your kid is every second of the day. I am having a hard time with that as my 19-year-old is in Costa Rica off the grid. I have no idea where she is. There's a lot of things that we have to let go of. It seems like every month there's something new. Every year they grow older. It's a constant state of letting go. So I want to help make it easier for you. And so we're going to be talking about it. I'm going to be doing some free coaching calls, like some group calls about letting go, to give you peace and harmony and reduce frustration in your life. So one of the things we're going to do is we are going to do a 5-day letting go challenge. I have got a colleague of mine joining us inside the Supermoms Getting Tired Facebook group for her version of letting go. She takes a more spiritual approach to it, very gentle and intuitive, and I think you're going to love her. So we're going to do that 5-day letting go challenge starting May 13th. Monday, May 13th through Friday, May 17th. Join me and Sarah Trapkis inside the Supermom's Getting Tired Facebook group. But before we do that, I want to introduce you to Sarah. So, this is an interview that Sarah and I did. We're talking a little bit more about letting go and sort of her perspective on it and how it differs a little bit from my take on things. And I think you're going to love it. If you want to feel more peace, more harmony, more acceptance, and live in the present moment, this is the podcast for you. So enjoy this interview, and I will see you inside the Facebook group for the 5-day challenge. Hello, this is Tori Henderson, and I'm here with Sarah Trapkis, and this is our introduction to the Letting Go 5-day challenge. I'm very excited to have Sarah here. I'm going to have her tell you a little bit about herself in a minute, but I wanted to say that I asked about 3,000 people, who is an expert on letting go? And Sarah's name is the one that came up more than any other. So I'm very excited to have you here to talk about letting go, also how your approach is so different than mine. So Sarah, can you talk a little bit about kind of what you do and how you came to being an expert in letting go?
Sure. Well, I'm a spiritual guide and coach. So I work in that liminal space between, this three-dimensional reality, all the things that we can measure and agree on, the logical, linear way that we do life here, which we all are a part of. And I help people expand their awareness outside of this reality to include more. And that often results in tapping into your intuition, to knowing information without knowing how you know information, to trusting your body, to dropping back into your body. And the journey often requires a lot of sitting with things that you've previously been avoiding or resisting, the uncomfortable parts of the human experience. And so I would say it was in my own exploration of doing this work on myself that I learned how to let go, right? To really move into the emotions, the energies, the stories, the events from my past that are anchored in and that play out over and over again in this three-dimensional reality. And I practiced how to let those things go, how to shift them so that I could have a bigger, more abundant, more joyful life. And I started teaching this to others, and that's why I'm here.
And so if you're listening to this and you're wondering if today we are going to be dancing in the woo with the woo-woo, the answer is yes. This challenge, we are going to be dancing with a little bit of woo-woo. And I like to, when, Sarah and I first started talking about it, I started talking about kind of my approach to letting go and that I've worked with my leading your teen clients. And it's sort of a top-down approach. It's like, okay, I want to let go of believing that it's my job to make my kid happy. I'm ready to let go of the thought that I am the only one that can solve my child's problems. And so it was much more of an intellectual process. And then when I talked to you, you are working more from the bottom up. So I thought it could be a really nice complement to the kind of conscious, okay, I need to let go of this. There's somebody in the Facebook group was talking about having to let go of her minivan, because her kids have grown up, but she didn't need the minivan anymore, and she was so sad. She was about letting go of the minivan. And then that's sort of the conscious top down, but what's coming up for that in the body and in the emotions and in the energy of it. And sometimes it might surprise you that the minivan might be representing something else that you didn't even realize.
Exactly. And that top-down approach is so valid. It's actually more efficient and effective if you're truly ready to let go and everything's conscious and it can just happen. But for most of us, we're stuck in these subconscious patterns and stories. And so I find that starting in the body and moving up and bringing that awareness out, it can be really powerful. And it's also something that we're all have the capacity to do. And I think it awakens so much more, so many more parts of ourselves, so much more awareness when we're working from the body out.
Mhm.
It's an additional gift. That's really why I do this work, just because it has so many benefits.
It's sort of more far reaching and expansive, where the brain is sort of that linear thinking kind of keeps you in a box. And yeah, and it was interesting for me when you walked me through a letting go exercise. And I said consciously, right? The thought that was in my mind is like, I said, I need to let go of my looks, probably the way I said it. And I said, I'm getting pictures back and I don't like the way I look. And so I am stuck between either like I need to like fight aging and, resist growing older, or like embrace it and surrender and like, okay, I'm old, like let the hair go gray and just like be like, yep, that's what I look like now, and like come to peace with it. And when you walked me through the journey exercise, it really wasn't even about letting go. It was about letting go of societal pressure in all the areas in which I am subjected to. And it was such, like you're saying, far reaching and expansive, that really what I was finding I was ready for was letting go of my own self pressure, the expectations I had put on myself, or that I imagine that I feel and pick up from others and society. So that was definitely, it was cool to see that what I thought was wrinkles and gray hairs was really like a whole other, more powerful, more beneficial thing to let go of.
Yeah, because all programming.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the only way to really let go of that programming is to notice where it's anchored in to our subconscious and deep into our bodies. I shouldn't say that's the only way, but that's the way that I found is the most powerful. And so much information comes through, just as you were demonstrating.
And would you use like subconscious and the body interchangeably?
I say that the body is the gateway to the subconscious.
Okay.
So our bodies hold all the stories, all the beliefs, all the ideas, all the things we tell ourselves that our conscious mind may not be showing us. But the body is this beautiful temple that holds all of that for us. And when we learn how to come back into it, we access it. And then it moves beyond. I mean, this is just dense energy, right? So all those stories, all those ideas are also energy. They're stored in this vessel.
Yeah.
So we can notice where also is in our world, or where, and this is the beautiful part, where we all actually have this. We all are swimming in it together.
We are. And I want to speak to that. The coming back into the body is that when you start doing that for the first time after years of ignoring it, you might find some resistance. There's might be people who already dropped off and we already lost. Let's face it. They're like, I'm not going into the body. But if you think, okay, no, this sounds good, this sounds powerful, it sounds like something I need to do, you might find resistance. Oh, I'll do it later, or I don't have time, or like, yeah, back burner it. Or you might be like me, like sit down, like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this letting go challenge. And then all of a sudden my phone starts going off and my husband's like, hey, where are you? What are you doing? And the dog, it's all of a sudden up comes external resistance and often internal resistance. Oh my God, I forgot I have to call this person, or oh, look, the stove on, or this kind of stuff. So be prepared for the resistance. Know that that's what it is. And the only reason it's showing up is because your higher self knows that like this is really good for your soul.
Yeah, like something's going to happen here.
Yes.
Resistance is
So
evidence of a shift that's already underway. And
that's exactly it. The more resistance you have, the more important it is for your soul's calling. Right? Like if I say like, okay, I'm going to start eating a chocolate truffle every day before bed, I got no resistance. But if I say I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes every night before bed, I'm like, oh, but I haven't done the wordle yet. Or like, oh, wait, I forgot I should floss. Like, we only if it's good for our soul. does resistance come up. So know that ahead of time, plan and prepare for it. Higher self knows this is powerful work.
Thank you for speaking to that.
Yay. So before we get started on doing the 5-day letting go challenge, is there anything else that you want people to know, to be prepared for? What can they expect at the end of it? Why should they do it?
Yes. So, well, you should do it because there's always something to let go of. And what, as you'll discover as you tap into the work in the coming 5 days, so much of what you're ready to let go of, you don't even consciously are aware of. And there's always something here. We're on a path of constant evolution and growth and change, and it's inevitable. It's going to happen, right? So it's really powerful to lead that and to choose to step into this and let go of what no longer serves you. And this is a very important point to make for us moms, is that it's not selfish. Like, investing in yourself in this way. And by the way, the meditation audios are very short. I made them short on purpose, so they're really accessible and easy to do. Prioritizing yourself in this way and doing this work benefits everybody around you. So if you're holding on to something, and if you're acting, behaving from old patterns, from old stories that aren't serving you, they're not serving the people around you. And when you are able to let them go and notice what gets to happen instead and who you get to become and what becomes available for you, that too is also benefiting everyone around you. So that feels really important to say. I repeat that in all my work because that's a common fear. And the other part is that there are journal prompts included in each day's challenge that go along with the meditation audio. Your brain is going to tell you that you forgot, you didn't do this right, you weren't present, you were thinking about other things while the meditation was going on. You can redo it if you want, but those journal prompts are also a really powerful tool to just putting pen to paper and just noticing what comes out. Again, all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the information is actually stored in your body. It's just giving yourself permission to let it come out. And so when the resistance is there, when that mind chatter is there, when you're thinking like, I'm not doing this right, that's part of what you get to let go of.
Right.
Just play and be playful and stay curious and just see what happens. Just see what happens. It's going to feel very like, rarely do people this is so like predictable and I understood everything that was coming through, and it's like that's rare. Usually it's like
Yeah.
this chaotic, like intangible
Or like
process.
for me, like I got nothing, like I did it, one time and I was like, so interesting. So then I did it again and it was like, wait, I got nothing this time. Like, like, does that ever happen where people are sort of like, I don't like, what
Yeah.
is it people should be looking for?
That's a good question. Don't look for anything.
Okay.
Stay open and curious. And that is really, really hard for us because we've been micromanaging and task mastering and anticipating everyone's needs like forever, right? So our brains are dialed into solving problems, to creating solutions, to figuring out ahead of time what it is we're going to need to do, because that's safety. That's like what is safe. And this is an invitation to just lean back and just stay open and curious and allow my voice and the journey that you go on in the audio to just lead you wherever
Right.
that is, you get to just show up with curiosity.
So you can use your left brain to like put a date and a time on the calendar and like carve out 5 minutes. It's really not long, right? 5 to 10 minutes a day, maybe pick a time. But then once that time shows up, you bounce over to the right brain and you're just like open, playful, curious, no
Yeah.
agenda, no outcome, no work.
Yeah.
So use the left brain to schedule it. If you want to schedule it, have your things handy, use the right brain to be open
Just to be in the present moment.
for the moment.
That's where everything is, right here.
All right. Well, I hope that y'all are excited for this challenge. We're going to be doing little intro videos every day, and then we'll give you the journal prompts and the recording to walk you through it. Like she said, just let yourself be led. You don't have to conjure it up from your intellect. You get to just follow along and see what shows up.
Thank
All
you.
right. Here we go.
Want a free life coaching session? Go to lifecoachingforparents.com and schedule yours today. And thank you so much for listening. I would love it if you would subscribe and share these podcasts with your friends. If you have a question you'd like me to answer on the air, go to lifecoachingforparents.com/recordmyquestion, and you can send me a voicemail recording or write me an email, and I'll answer it on the air. Thanks again. Have a great day.